to our viewing audience, and welcome once again to episode 3 of our fall season, season 9 of our National Black LGBTQ subsidiary and media show, History of Black Gay America, where we encourage you to know your history and know your heritage. Of course, this is the CEO, Miko Evans, back at you once more and again, and we're just so happy and proud to be able to bring you another episode. Of course, we have a special guest. You know, we can't do a show without having a special guest on. But before we bring him on, we have to get some things out of the way. First and foremost, don't forget to visit our website at blackgayusa.meakproductions.com. Once again, that's BLKGAY USA.MEAK as in kite, productions with an S.com. We are working on getting our own domain, both historyblkgayusa.com and historyblkgay.us. Because I think we're going to go both with more with .us than the .com, but we may end up getting both just so that we can have it. So we're very excited about that. And all of that information should be located at the bottom of your screen. Of course, we're also on social media, on both Facebook and Instagram at historyblkgayusa, and on Twitter, we're at historyblkgayus, all right? And of course, give our parent company, Meak Productions, the world's first LGBT exclusive talent agency and production company, give them a shout out on our toll-free office hotline at 1-855-MEAK-PRO. Once again, that's 1-855-MEAK-PRO for our media division, extension 803. Because we would love to have you all on our show as we continue to interview pioneers and people that's doing things and trailblazers within our LGBT communities of color, and also providing you with the latest news and information. I am so happy. We've been following each other on social media for the longest. And I'm so happy to have on the show, psychic extraordinaire, entertainer, show personality, and what they say, roundaway diva. Yes, our very own LGBT psychic extraordinaire, brother Leo Brown, is finally on the airways with me, baby. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm just a regular dude, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Honestly, thank you.
Yeah, because I know what when I started seeing pictures of you and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this boy's foundation down. Foundation down, baby.
I try, child. I try.
Yes. Let's
That was good lighting and a great makeup artist.
Okay.
To the lipstick god. She's based here in Houston, Texas. And honey, she beat that face out. When I tell you she beat it out, she beat it out.
I mean, yeah, she beat it out, honey. Because I'm like, all right.
And oh my goodness, and Rotimi Johnson for his excellent photography skills. Actually, that particular picture that you saw, or those pictures that you see, they were taken in my living room, in the living room of my apartment.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and get right into it because, brother, you have a powerful testimony. And as I always say on my shows, you know, sometimes I go in when the omniverse, you know, inspires me to. And I always say that, of course, it is written that, you know, you overcome by the power of your testimony. When you tell your story, you heal, set free, and deliver other people. And as a matter of fact, that's why you survived what you've gone through, so that you can be able to be a witness to tell other people and provide people hope. And you, I had a chance to kind of go over some of your website and your life, and it was very, very, very inspiring because we do not have enough members in the LGBT community that represent our disabled LGBTQ plus actually coming out to tell their story. And I know I had a chance to see, you know, one of your videos where you talk about you know, your disability with cerebral palsy, and also you and with all of that, you come out with your book, your first book, and you you know, a celebrity psychic, and I know you've had, you know, done some psychic readings for some of the best. It's like, you know, you are male. The difference is that it's like you are a male version of Miss Cleo, but you're more authentic.
You know, I get that comparison actually quite a bit.
You know, so and I do want to speak the name of Miss Cleo because come to find out she was one of our members of our community,
Yes.
but she grew up during a time where she could not be open and honest and complete in who she is. So we don't disrespect her legacy or anything like that, but we want to speak her name and everything. But I think the creator that you are sincere and genuine about your calling.
Thank you.
And about your gift. And so I want us to kind of go into, first of all, how was it you growing up in the, because I think you were actually from the South, right?
That's correct. I'm from Alabama. I'm from Montgomery.
Yeah. So yeah, you from the Confederate South. You right next door to me.
Yeah.
I'm in Georgia.
So,
You in Alabama.
let me just say this: Atlanta, in particular, I look forward to. I love Atlanta. First of all, I love everything about Atlanta. I love the trees and the nature and all of that. And Atlanta for me is like a second home. So I love Atlanta. And actually, I'm actually planning to make that my permanent home. So you'll see more of me next year. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Because I know you was planning on doing it this year, correct?
I was, but then Miss Rona came about.
Yeah, Miss Rona.
Yeah, and I said, okay. I said, let me listen to spirit and sit down because I was all ready to go. I'm like, yes, honey, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready, But I'm grateful that I didn't move. But my next year is going to be my year, and I'm ready to embark on Atlanta. And Atlanta is just a wonderful city, wonderful people. And I'm a Southerner. I'm a Southern Belle through and through. So about my growing up. So I grew up in a very conservative environment, middle upper class. I went to private schools. I had tutors, whole thing. Then I'm a fast forward. Then we get into maybe my teens, like 16, 17. That's when we got a little hood. Okay. And mama just was like, listen, we're going to be around the people. Okay. You need to be around your people. So we ended up moving everywhere. I've lived in Tennessee. I've lived in Virginia. I lived in Illinois. I've lived in Missouri, like everywhere. And mind you, we were not military. And then at that time, we didn't call what I had psychic. We didn't call it that. We called it, oh, you just touched, or you just got the gift. And I didn't even know what it was, but I would be little and I would hear voices. I remember when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I grew up in a haunted house. And the haunted house, the spirits in the house didn't like me and I didn't like them. And I remember like my bed actually spinning around and levitating off the ground. And just a lot of things that I'm just like, yeah. That's why, like, when it comes to certain things, I know my boundaries. People, well, why don't you go on a ghost hunt? No, I'm gonna let those spirits have fun with that place. They're there for a reason. Unless they come to me and say, hey, we need your help. I'm staying my ass at home. So, but growing up in a conservative household, it just wasn't commonplace to talk about it. My mother is psychic, actually. My mother's very clairvoyant. My half sister is the same way. She gets her visions and dreams. And we've always been that way. And it's funny, at one point, I actually wanted to be a minister because I come from a minister background. I wasn't a PK kid per se, but I was baptized apostolic. I went to a Kojic church. Oh yes.
God. Child, the stories we can tell you about being Pentecostal apostolic.
Yeah, Pentecostal, Apostolic, Baptist, and Kojic. So I know all about that.
Holiness.
The holiness, Holy Ghost.
Yeah, holiness of hell.
Yeah, all that. So I know all about all that. And the anointed oil, and I know all about that.
The short ends.
Yeah. The origin, right? Okay.
Anyway, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So, growing up in a conservative environment, and then by the time I was 16, I came out as gay. And I really didn't come out. It came out for me because this was right when the internet was just taking off. So I'm sneaking at the computer looking at gay porn, and I'm like, yes, And my mother found out, courtesy of Bank of America, her debit card, because I literally took the number of her debit card, wrote it down, and used it to buy porn, and
Oh,
didn't have no clue that that actually was taking money out of the account.
wow.
And when that happened, my mother kicked, and I don't blame her for this. She kicked my ass, my whole entire ass, and I don't blame her for it because I would have done it too. But I think it really changed our relationship dynamic
Uh-huh.
because my mother and I were very close, and we're better now. But um, yeah, it was a really rocky time from like 16 to 32. My mother and I we couldn't even be in the same room. Uh, and then my sister and I forget it, like child. Whereas now it's gotten
Well,
better.
wait a minute now. Let's kind of go back to that because I think this is very important to many of our young LGBT
Mm-hmm.
people that's
Mm-hmm.
going through because even though we live in an environment now where marriage equality is the law of the land,
Mm-hmm.
there are still areas within our country
Mm-hmm.
that are have not caught up with the rest of the world, put it like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Of
and
course.
that are not as progressive, and so that are still going through shit that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No, in the 80s and 90s. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm high school
Oh yeah.
class of '89. So, kind of tell us a little bit about that dynamic between your mother and your sister because it's like okay you was still dealing with your disability at the time as well and then having to come out
Mm-hmm.
and stuff so that's like pressure on top of pressure
Mm-hmm.
on top of pressure
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. And
and
also
a lot of us in our communities don't understand that about first
no.
of all being black,
Mm-hmm.
a black male,
Mm-hmm.
then being disabled,
Mm-hmm.
then being LGBT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of that rolled up in
And
one.
also, and then on top of that, I'm not the most masculine dude in the world.
I know, that's what I'm
I am
saying.
in, yeah, and I am in charge of the girls, honey. I don't mind being in charge. Okay.
Okay.
However, okay, and I'm also
My name is Walker, Vera Walker.
that's right. That's right. And I can't stand this fighting and shooting and shit no more.
No more.
All right.
For
So
those people that didn't get it, that come from Harlem Nights,
that's
okay?
right. Do your research, kids. Just saying. Yeah. So so uh it was hard because the one thing I've come to realize is that just like we as the GLBTQIAA, QILB,
All that.
people, the alphabet land folks, just like we have a coming out, the parents have a coming out too.
Absolutely.
And for the longest time, it took me a long time to understand that for my mother and my sister, even now, that the ideal life that they thought I was going to have, i.e., get married, i.e., with a woman, have children, meeting the daughter-in-laws, dating, all that went out the window when I came out as gay. See, so much so that my mother and sister wanted me to go to conversion therapy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing well, unfortunately, they thought they was doing the right thing, but
Yeah, because their
that
exact words were, "We just want closure." And at that time, I was 21 years old. So I was a grown. I wasn't grown, but I was grown enough to say no.
yeah.
And I went to this was Exodus International, and I went.
Oh,
Oh yes, and I have stories for days. And I went to I went to the pre-interview because this was when they were going through all that controversy.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And what they were doing was they would pre-interview you. And I'll never forget it because my best friend at the time, I said, I don't want to go by myself. Will you come with me? He
Hmm.
came with me. The guy interviewed me. My sister, I'll never forget it, we met at a Burger King across from the Galleria Mall in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking, and the guy's like, I hate to break it to your mother and your sister, but you're clearly gay. I was like, of course I am. And he ended up leaving. He left. And my sister and my best friend at the time got into this huge argument, so much so that she ended up leaving him in the middle of St. Louis, Missouri by himself. And he was only 15.
What?
Yeah, it was a mess. Like when I look back at those years, it was really, really, really painful. And I was very much a mama's boy. I wanted to make my mother happy. I still do on some level, but not as much as I used to. Uh, and I wanted to make everybody happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my nature. I am
Mm-hmm.
a Leo by birth too, so I'm very true to my sign.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up homosexual, growing up disabled, because I knew that I couldn't do. And let me say this: I did for a long time. I did not want to acknowledge my disability.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be. I'm just like everybody else. When when I was in school, I couldn't go outside to play with kids. I couldn't do any of the things that the normal able-bodied people could do.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to break me down because I was like, well, what do you mean? Or they would put me in special classes with people who were, how do I say, more mentally challenged.
Mm-hmm.
And people would often think that I was mentally disabled.
Mm-hmm.
I got called the R word quite a bit because and I was told that I had a learning disability when it came to math, when really in reality that wasn't true. I just wasn't taught in a way that was conducive.
Absolutely. Say
Mhm.
that again, that part.
Yeah.
Hashtag facts.
Yes. I
Hashtag
wasn't
facts.
taught in a way that was conducive to me
Thank you.
because everyone learns differently. And my
Absolutely.
goal at the time when I was younger, I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be in the entertainment industry
Mm-hmm.
because my father, may he rest in peace, he was an entertainment producer. He was a record producer.
Mm.
He produced KRS-One and
Wow.
Boogie Down Productions and all those things.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's in my blood.
So you grew up,
Mhm.
wow, around around a producer who was part of
Mhm.
the pioneering
Hip hop era.
of hip hop. Wow.
Yeah, and
On the
and
production
here's
end.
the thing: we didn't really meet a lot, my father and I, but I learned so much about the music industry, so much so that I didn't want to get in it.
Yeah, I know.
Because I learned so much about how it works that I was like, I don't think I want to be in this business. But I love to sing, and even now
Mm-hmm.
I still sing. I went to
Okay.
school. I went to school for music. Can't read a note, but neither can Dolly Parton
Okay.
or George Gershwin.
Mm-hmm.
So can't read a note of music, but I love to sing. I love what music does. And music for me when I was younger was very much my escape.
Mm-hmm.
Because in music, I could dance, I could sing, I could do all those things. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson.
Okay.
I was, honey, complete with the weave and everything. Okay,
Okay.
swinging that hair around. But growing up, disabled and gay and black and male, it was difficult because it was not a there wasn't a place where you could thrive. It was more about
Mm-hmm.
survival.
It was. It
And it
was.
was more about get them before they get you. That's why now I
Mm.
tell people I can't fight with my fists, but my mouth is lethal. I'll read you down to a dub. Okay. I'm very much like Alexis Carrington.
Okay,
Uh,
Alexis Carrington, Colby Dexter.
yes, Dexter Rowan. Yes.
Okay.
I'm very much like her or Sable. You know what I mean? I will
Uh-huh.
read you down to filth. I won't fight you for nothing because you hit me one time, I'm falling on the floor. You
Uh-huh.
know, but but my mouth became my fist. And I didn't say what I thought a lot, but by the time I got to junior high school, honey, I was mouthy as hell. You couldn't tell me shit. So that was how I got through. It was either through music, it was through entertainment, or it was through just being over the top. And I always felt I had to be loud and big to be
Mm-hmm.
noticed. And I always had something to prove that I wasn't dumb, even though people thought
Mm-hmm.
I was. I had to prove that I could dance. I had to prove that I could sing. I had to prove all these things. So I developed, dare I say it, kind of a Napoleon complex. And it doesn't help that I'm actually short in real life. I look bigger on camera,
Of course.
but I'm only 5'1".
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are short.
Yes, I am, honey. I'm fun size.
Yeah. It's
So
fun size.
yes, I'm fun size. So I'm a short man. And then on top of that, I was a chubby dude growing up. I was not a My father was a football player for Tuskegee State. He was
Wow.
a quarterback. So I have my father's build. And more as I get older, the thicker I get. And I'm like, can nobody in my family be skinny?
Okay.
And my mother she has an hourglass figure, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
bam, you know what I mean? So I'm never
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a thin person. So on top of that, it was a lot. It was a lot with, body image and self-image and self-esteem and self-worth, and it was a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you
Mhm.
even for sharing all of that, because once again, that is very important. It's very important that we tell our stories.
Mhm.
For everybody that's listening, especially those of us who are elders in our community, we have to pass down the knowledge and we have to tell our stories so that our next
Sure.
generation will know that if we can make it, so can you, and
Mhm.
you are not alone. And so, but
Mhm.
I'm very, very grateful to you
Mhm.
and for you having the strength enough to tell your story, because like I said, there's not enough uh, members of the disabled community who are part of the LGBTQ community.
Mhm.
They don't always have a platform to tell their stories, and so
Mhm.
I'm grateful that you are able to actually be on this show to
Oh
tell
yeah.
us your testimony and your story.
Greetings. This is Angela Hutchins, the First Lady of History of Black Gay America, Atlanta chapter, encouraging you to know your history and know your heritage. Stay tuned for more empowering interviews after this break.
Greetings, this is Joshua Luke, your editor-in-chief of the newest global media platform for professional African-American gay men. eBay Man embodies the work of CEOs, entrepreneurs, industry experts, community leaders, and change agents who seek to elevate lives and change the perception of the LGBTQ community. And eBay Man is a blend of two cultures coming together to embody the affluent, professional black gay man. For subscription information and updated news, visit ebayman.com. Once again, www.ebanman.com.
eBay Man is the first historic media partner for History of Black Gay America. Get ready to take a bite of Peach ATL. Peach ATL is Gay Atlanta's longest running LGBTQ business certified weekly magazine. We deliver the best in community events, arts, gay culture, and entertainment. Get weekly high profile celebrity interviews and coverage of the most important events and festivals. Go to peachatl.com to learn more and get your bite of Gay Atlanta.
Hi, this is Miko Hildebrand, editorial director of Peach ATL Magazine, and we look forward to seeing you in print.
Let's get into how you got started into in your practice. When was your first opportunity to actually publicly promote yourself as an intuitive spiritual coach, psychic, reader, and advisor? When did you start embarking more on learning and mastering your craft?
Well, that goes back to, believe it or not, high school. My best friend at the time, his name was James Seaver. He and his family took me under their wing, and they were very earthy. They were very spiritual, still are, from what I know. And they took me to gatherings and things like that, and metaphysical shops. And I was like, okay, this is cute. All the incense and candles and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is lovely. And so, uh, and while I was in high school, I was like 2021. And I was in high school, and people would asked me what I thought, because people said, you give great advice. So I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm giving you advice. And then people would come back to me and they would say, what you said actually came true. And I was like, okay, no big deal. I'm like, whatever. I got me a weave. I'm trying to whip my hair back and forth. I don't care about, because I was a bitch in high school. I was definitely very much a bully. So I understand, I was not a nice person. But my best friend at the time was like, I think you have, because I was hell bent on being an entertainer. I wanted to sing, I wanted to dance, I wanted to have a wind machine and some dancing boys. That's what I wanted. And I said, I'm gonna be a singer. I can sing, And by this time, we were out of high school, we were in college. And he said, I think you got, even though you have a gorgeous voice, I think you're meant to help the people. I was like, in what way? And how it all started was, I started in the beginning, I started doing PSO work. And for those of you who don't know, PSO work is phone sex operator. I was a phone sex operator for 3 years.
Wow. And how old were you when this happened?
I was 23.
Oh, okay.
And I was because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
My background was, before that, I was in customer service. I was a customer service rep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew how to, good afternoon, it's a great day at Adams Mark. My name is Leo, how can I help you?
Yes.
I knew how to do that. But I was like, phone sex, I can't do that. And he was the one that pushed me and said, I think you can do it because you got a great voice. Number one, you got a great speaking voice and you're very articulate.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was doing it, I would get callers that were silent, that would say nothing at all, like nothing, not a word. So I had to think on my feet. And I didn't realize it then, but I was actually honing my gifts then. Wow. Because I literally would hear voices in my head saying, I think he wants this kind of fantasy. I think he wants that kind of, and then I would do it. And at the time, my voice was much higher then. So I could, well, hello, my name is Candy. How may I help you? And they thought I was a legit girl. And
no, you didn't.
Yeah. And the key in the phone sex business was and is to talk slow and to be descriptive and to make the man feel like he's the only man in the room. And wow. And I was like, okay, that I can do. So that was it, and just say their names a lot. So if a guy named John called me, well, hi, John. Thank you so much, John. Oh, you sound good, John. How was your day, John? And I would just do it and do it and do it. And then before they know it, they just started popping.
Okay, just what was it? Just skeeting all over the place.
Yeah. And the women, actually, the other operators would get jealous because they were like, you're so damn good at this.
Oh, damn.
Do it. And I was like, I just learned how to listen. But in that, I was honing my psychic abilities then. And then around that same time, I was studying how to read cards.
Okay.
So in that interim, I would be studying how to read cards, like during downtime. Mm-hmm. I would study to read cards. And then I would just tap into my abilities and be like, I think this guy wants a domination fantasy. And I would just go into it, or I learned how to be descriptive. I learned how to visualize. And I didn't know it then, but I was actually doing a lot of psychic work then. And then my first ever event that I actually ever did was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to my girlfriend, Courtney Tyson, comedian Courtney Tyson, AKA Coco Fresh, because she gave me this opportunity. I went to a strip club in Charlotte called Club Nicky's. And I read for the strippers.
Wait a minute, hold up now. You said Club Nicky's where?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, because there used to be a Club Nicky's down here in the ATL.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's why I said, wait a minute, which Club Nicky's is he
Club Nicky's in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I mean, this was like, I don't know what they do, that horn, this was during that time.
Okay.
So literally like the fog machine and and I was literally reading cards for the dancers. And they're like, oh my God. They're crying. They're like, oh my God, you're so right. And I'm like, okay. And then also at that time, I was doing phone readings too. So I was working for hotlines and things like that. And I would say for anyone who wants to pursue intuitive healing, hotlines, even though they get a horrible reputation, they are the best training ground because they really do teach you how to read from a deep intuitive place. And then as far as my mediumship was concerned, that didn't come about until I was in my late 20s, 27. And when that happened, that scared the shit out of me because I mean, stuff would fall off the walls on its own. The doors would open and slam shut. Windows would slam shut. Lights would go on and off. It freaked me out. And I have a fear of well, I don't anymore, but I used to have a really big fear of the dark. And so when this was happening, all the lights would go out and I'd be in total darkness. I was like, what is this shit? And I'm thinking I'm going crazy. But it was actually my abilities taking shape. And it's just been there. Well, it hasn't been that dramatic, but it's been my goal to do that and I've been on this path ever since. And I don't see myself ever getting off of it. I've thought about, at one point, like I look at your artists like Tony Enos and things like that. And I'm like, I would love to make a record. I'd love to make an album of jazz tunes, of standards, because I'm a Phyllis Hyman nut. So I'm like, I love to do something of that nature. But I'm like, I know I couldn't really be a singer. I would just do it just for the, just to say I did it. But I don't think I could ever be a singer where I'm performing and I have to go on tour.
Now there is a way for you to mix that. You just need the right coaching, the right
That's true.
agent, the right someone who actually knows how to do artist development and entrepreneurship coaching
Talk
and
about
stuff like
yourself,
that.
Gordy. Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes. But no, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do an album of jazz tunes. But I'm like, I think my calling is to really to help the public, the people.
And and like I said, there's a way to do that. You and I will have to talk right after this show.
Yeah, and I would love to intertwine the two because
there is a way to do that.
Before the show started, like Iyanla Fix My Life. I think Iyanla Van Zandt is fantastic. And Imani Banzap. I got to give Imani Banzap
my girl, Imani Banzap.
Yes.
Well, she's here to help us fix our shit.
Yes, I love her. And I
shout out to Imani. Yes.
Shout out to Imani, to all the characters he plays, honey, to Mr. Eric Dillard Winston. I love him. Him and Tony and Shelley. Yeah. But anyway, but no, I know there's more to do because the thing about my industry is if you're lucky, you get TV. Do a book. Everybody has a book. You do a book. And then if you're really lucky, you get television. Television is exposure. I've been approached by 13 reality television production companies.
Wow.
I told them no. And the reason why I said no is because I said, first of all, we're going to do reality TV, correct? I want real. I don't want staged. I don't want, well, you gotta, we're going to hire actors to be your people you're going to read for. No, I don't want actors. I want people that have real issues that I can not fix, but maybe start the healing process. That's my goal. My goal is not about, just taking your money and, looking cute. Don't get me wrong. I love to glam it up. I love a photo shoot like it. I love all that kind of stuff. But my main goal is to help you see the diva that's in you, because we all have one, whether it's all, and for you to break through, to break that yoke. As the Bible told them folks say, break that yoke.
Break that yoke.
Yeah, break that yoke, and let you see that everything you need is already here.
Absolutely.
As Della Reese would say, the late great Della Reese, everything you need is already in you. God is already inside of you. You just have to tap into that. And a lot of us, unfortunately, and especially in our community, as people of color, and as the GLBTQ, we don't know how to tap into that. We know how to put that mask on and make it look cute. Yeah. We know how to do the great bodies and the big asses and the thin waist, but a lot of us are broken, and we don't want to talk about our sexual violations. We want to talk about how we felt slighted. We want to talk about how we had to survive and thrive and do things that we aren't proud of.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that's important. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. Let's get to the real shit. Because I want it to be me and Flame Monroe. Okay. and Jennifer Lewis.
Okay.
I want to all down.
All in one.
Yeah. And talk some real shit and be like, listen, here's what you need to do, along with some chicken wings and some brown liquor.
Okay. See, that's that old South shit. That's what I'm talking about.
And some blues in the back. Some Johnny Taylor, some Denise Assad.
Okay.
Uncle Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah. Some Dorothy Moore.
Yeah.
Yes. All them. But I just love this. And I want to actually say this because after doing my research on you, you're somebody that I feel that is more than just a psychic.
Thank you.
You are an intuitive.
Thank you.
That's one of the names that the Omniverse had revealed to me in recent years. That because when you are an intuitive, that's tapping into more of your organic abilities and stuff. Because everybody has that to some degree, but some have that more than others because of the mission that they were manifested into this planetary dimension to orchestrate and to fulfill. And so you are an intuitive, not a psychic and stuff. I said, yeah, you can have that title too. But for someone of your caliber and for everything that you've been through, for your statue now, you are an intuitive. So we definitely got to connect after the show.
And let me also say one more thing. The one thing that was really hard for me, because you asked me about what it was like to be Black and gay and disabled and all those things. One of the things that I'm actually working through and really opening up to now is being a disabled man and being a sexual man, being a sensual man. Because oftentimes with disabled people, we're not shown as sexual.
You're not, because a lot of people, and I'm glad we're talking about this because this is very important. A lot of people kind of have, because I know y'all go through discrimination too, and so a lot of people are wondering, okay, can they have sex, or is that still functioning, or has the disabled kind of messed that up and stuff like that? And I mean, I've seen both relatives, both on the extended family side and on my side, where we have some people who are disabled and stuff, and one or two happen to get pregnant, and one or two happen to have kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, something still works.
Well, I mean, because here's the thing: we all have a disability. Some of us have it mentally, some of us have it emotionally, some of us have it spiritually, some of us have it physically. My disability is just physical. For a long time, it was emotional, but thanks to therapy and medication, I'm working through that. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I am not a know-it-all. I don't know anything. I'm learning everything just like everybody else. I can be very naive when it comes to what I do as an intuitive, as a reader, as a medium. I am not 100% accurate. I don't know. The man of my dreams could walk through my door right now, and I would be like, who the hell are you? Why are you in my house? I don't know. And I don't want to know. And that's the thing. I like not knowing what's going to be around the corner for me. That's what makes life interesting and fun. That's what keeps you on your toes. But getting back to what I was saying, with being a disabled person, for a long time, I hated sex. I was very prudish, very prudish. And if you follow me via social media, which you can on The Real Leo Brown at Twitter, and The Real Psychic Leo Brown on Instagram, and The Real Psychic Leo Brown on Facebook. But if you follow me on any form of social media, and you go back, I was very, very prudish and very like, well, I just think sex is just, that's between two people, and it should be special, and it should be just this wonderful thing. And whereas now, and that was because I didn't see myself as worthy of having a sexual, sensual connection with somebody. Because I was told growing up, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
You barely can walk. What you mean you want to have sex?
Wow. I'm so glad you said that. Wow. Because that's one of the stigma. That's a part of the shaming too.
Exactly.
That's a part of
And
the
then
shaming.
being gay on, wait a minute, and then being gay on top of that.
Yeah, so you have to deal with that shame.
Yes. Yeah. And then being someone, and I'm just gonna keep it real, I am team bottom all day, every day. Okay.
Hey, I'm 100% top. So hey, I love every time somebody say they're bottom, I'm like, hey.
Well, thank you. And we love you. But and then, like I said, growing up in an environment that was taught to me that not only how I love, but who I love is wrong, is dirty. So I viewed sex as something dirty, sinful, nasty, and it just was gross, and you weren't supposed to do it. And it wasn't really until, I would say even a year ago, that I really started to embrace me. Not my friends, not my former roommate, none of that. Me.
Not your family.
Right, not my family, me. And what I liked, and my sexuality, and my vision of what that looks like. And not only that, but my body, and realizing that it's okay to be a sexual, living, breathing person. And when we speak on wellness, whether it be counseling, whether it be medication, a huge part of the wellness industry is your sexuality. It is. And we often think, well, disabled folks can't have sex. Lies. Yeah, I love sex.
Okay.
Sex loves me. Okay.
What you say? Hold on. I love that part. I love it. What you say? I love sex and sex loves me.
Yeah. And I probably love sex more than the average Joe, because I'm like, whoever marries me, they're gonna be in for a good time, honey.
Oh yeah.
Honey, listen here. Like, it was funny. I participated in a speed dating event yesterday, and one of the questions was, they were like, so how would you feel about sexual role play? And so I was like, I already got a box full of wigs and shoes and ladies. And I'm ready, honey. I'm ready. Let's do this. We can play all kinds of characters. I will be Carmen tonight. You can be Raul tonight. It'll be fun. So I'm
I love it.
Yeah, and I had to learn that it was okay. That it was okay to be a sexual person and be disabled, and learn to not only love your body, but own it. And own the fact that, yes, I have a disabled body, but it doesn't have me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so powerful.
Yeah.
That is so powerful, because it's also inspiring to me, because I know when all of us, because I grew up in the Confederate South too. And growing up, like I said, I was raised Baptist, and then I was Kojic in my early 20s. And that's why I experienced, like, I know, like, the climax of that, religious discrimination. And so,
speaking of climaxes, what about convocation?
Okay. Now, I never got a chance to go to a convocation.
Oh, you never had a chance to go to the convocation?
I never had a chance to go to the convocations, honey. So yeah, we have to talk about that. But anyway, I know that's going to be on another show.
This is Angela Hutchins, the First Lady of History of Black Gay America, Atlanta chapter, encouraging you to know your history and know your heritage. Stay tuned for more empowering interviews after this break.
Get ready to take a bite of Peach ATL. Peach ATL is Gay Atlanta's longest running LGBTQ business certified weekly magazine. We deliver the best in community events, arts, gay culture, and entertainment. Get weekly high-profile celebrity interviews and coverage of the most important events and festivals. Go to peachatl.com to learn more and get your bite of Gay Atlanta.
Hi, this is Miko Hildebrand, editorial director of Peach ATL Magazine, and we look forward to seeing you in print.
Greetings, this is Jim Farmer, Festival Director of Out on Film. Since 1987, Out on Film has been dedicated to supporting the exhibition of LGBT film and video art forms with top-rated films, intimate settings, audience participation, and special celebrity events, which gives moviegoers and sponsors a way to connect and extend a 90-minute film into a lasting relationship. For more information about film submission, the history of the festival, and how to donate or sponsor, please visit outonfilm.org. That's outonfilm.org.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
I was so young when I realized I believe in magic.
That's gonna be on another show.
And we can have our sister and special guest Andrew Caldwell. They can come as special guest.
Ooh, see, we're gonna we're gonna have to have that on another show.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I love about what you said is about us undoing that that forced internalized homophobia.
Yes.
That was within us because we was forced to try to live life according to a heterosexual normative.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, having to deal with the fact that we're Black. Mm-hmm. And then with you're still having to deal with the not only your disability, but also the discrimination against that from both communities, from both Black folk and from the general public and from members in the LGBTQ+.
Yes, and even in the disabled community, because to be honest with you, for a long time, I used to get very upset when people would classify me as disabled or handicapped. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but I'm not like, and I don't mean it like this for those who are watching, but I'm not like them.
That's
and these were people that couldn't even they couldn't go to the bathroom on their own. They couldn't scratch themselves. Uh-huh. They had slurred speech. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I'm like, but I'm not like them. I just walk with a cane. What do you mean? And every now and again, I mean, I call them I call them the carts that you see at Walmart. I call them the fat people carts. And I'm not being fatophobic. Let me make that clear. But I call them that. Mm-hmm. But I don't, every now and again, I may need one of those. Or, if I go to Six Flags, I need a riding cart or whatever. But I'm good. Other than that, I'm straight. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I didn't see myself as a disabled person. I just didn't. Because I was like, what you mean? I can run, I can jump. I may do it different, but I'm not like that. I'm not dependent like that. But really, in reality, Miko, I was. Because I had people doing things for me. And I didn't learn to ride a bike until I was 12. No, I'm sorry. I didn't learn to ride a bike until I was 13. I didn't tie my shoes until I was 12 years old. I didn't learn how to balance a checkbook until I was maybe in 7th or 8th grade. You know what I mean? I didn't learn how to wash my own clothes. So I did live a very codependent existence for a long time. And unfortunately, when you live that, it's hard to let that go because you end up repeating it. And I did that when I got older. I repeated it with my roommates. I really became the mother of the house. And I'm like, I'm the one, I did everything but cook. Financially, I did everything but cook and have sex with these people because they were having sex with each other. They were roommates and they ended up becoming husbands. So, but other than that, I pretty much ran the house. I had to learn how to break out of that. And I had to learn how to make room, not only for genuine people, but for myself and figure out, well, what does Leo like? What do I really want? And to embrace all aspects of myself. For a long time, I hated being feminine. I hated it. Couldn't stand it because I thought, well, guys don't like me. But the one thing I've learned is, and for all my feminine people out here, for all my femmes, let me tell you something. If you don't like yourself, that guy will not like you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you like yourself and you're confident in your femininity and you can rock some clothes and you know who you are and you're not ashamed, you'll have to fight men off with a stick.
Absolutely.
Because
everybody, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because I recently posted a picture of myself on my social media of me wearing a lace outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And that took balls for me to do, quite frankly, because I was like, I'm a little overweight, I'm getting it together, but I'm not where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed was the positive reaction I got. And people were like, Leo, you look good. Like, whoa, I didn't know you look like that. I'm like, but I also want to show that people who are readers, people that are intuitive, people that are gifted people, because we're all gifted in our own way. We are also sexual, sensual, living, feeling beings.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of us.
That's a part of the human experience. Yeah, that's part of the human experience.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit up here and just be this, well, hello, I'm Leo Brown. Like, no, honey, listen, give me something to drink, okay? Give me a cute man that I can flirt with.
Okay.
And he can put his hands around my waist, maybe rub my booty a couple times.
Okay.
That don't mean you don't get some. It just mean that you might be able to rub it, okay? But and it's all real up in here, all real, okay? All ready to copy. Anyway, but just being honest, just being transparent. And the one thing that I do with every interview, with every whatever, is I try to be as candid as possible. Because with celebrities, even though and I don't consider myself a celebrity, but with people who are known, yes, you're accessible to them, but there's no transparency from them. Everything is filtered through an agent of this, of that, of that. No, listen, if you want the real tea, come to me. I'll tell you the real tea about myself and everybody else that you need to know. And even when I do a reading, like I tell folks, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. That's
Absolutely.
not my job.
Absolutely.
Because this is real life. This is not a game. And I don't play games. Well, I do, but those are private. But
okay.
I don't play games like that. I don't play games like that.
Okay.
But I really take seriously what I do. I don't take myself seriously, which is why I can wear a big old hat and look like Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog and everything. And I don't mind that. But I also can be like, no, this is what I do. This is my job. But I'm gonna wear the big hat and the nails and stuff because that is part of me. But also that gets your attention. You got to pull them in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, you do. Got to pull them in. Wow. This has been an awesome experience, my brother.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we finally had a chance to chop it up a little bit because I know we've been talking about that for the longest. And for more information about this wonderful, wonderful, exciting and inspiring and empowering brother, please go to his official website. The one that I know about is www.psychicleo.com. And that has everything that you need to know about Mr. Leo Brown, from everything from his book to his public speaking engagements to his background, his videos and stuff like that and podcasts on his YouTube channel. All of that is found on psychicleo.com. So make sure you go and check it out. All of that should be provided at the bottom of this screen. Brother Leo, of course, we got to bring you back.
I would love to come back. And I would love it to where if we can make it more interactive, because I would love it to where we can get people in and they can ask me questions.
Oh, yes, we're going to do that. Trust me. Once we get this.
I want to read and read.
I want to read. I want to do a reading, and then I want to read.
Yes. Okay, because me and Oliver Tweaks need to talk. I need to be on Chasing Atlanta. I need to be on the new season.
Yeah, child. I'm
just saying they need to bring me. I'm gonna tell you why they need to bring me in. They need to bring me in because I could be a good villain. Okay, I could be a good villain who happens to be a good psychic. See?
Oh no!
I'll come in. I'm like, listen, just come here. I'll come in real cute, and then as the season evolves, I'll turn into a villain. I can wear some cute outfits, big shoulders. Just saying.
Get your life.
Yeah, give them 80s realness. That's all they need. See, they need a season queen.
Okay.
Just saying. I want to be on Chasing Atlanta and also I would love to be a sex symbol. Why can't sidekicks be sexy? Let me be a pinup boy. I don't mind being a pinup. Hey, my body yeah. Let me put these titties in some, in something cute.
Okay. Oh my God. I love it. Man, I love it. Man, thank you so much once again for being on this show. And I can't wait. I just can't wait till we bring you back and stuff. And once again, don't forget to check us out on our social media outlets, History BLKGAY USA on Facebook and Instagram, History BLKGAY US on Twitter, our website, blackgayusa.meakproductions.com. Of course, all of that is provided at the bottom of this screen. Continue to stay safe throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. And until our next episode, happy holidays, season's greetings, all that good shit. And Leo, thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful and fabulous episode as we encourage people to know your history and know your heritage. Until next time, be blessed.